Good morning, Tanna City Community Church.
Miarabantsika fiangonana Tanna City Community indray a.
And happy Mother's Day to all our mothers.
Dia tratran'ny fetiny reny a ianareo reny rehetra.
The mothers of our church, but also if you're a mother and you're listening to this online, then happy Mother's Day to you too.
Tratran'ny fetiny reny ianareo reny rehetra ao amin'ny fiangonana na hoe tsy ao anatin'ny fiangonana nareo fa mety mijery an'izao vidéo zao a dia miarabanareo tratran'izao fetiny reny androany zao.
I got it wrong last week.
Somary diso kely tamin'ny herinandro a.
I looked on the internet and it said Mother's Day in Madagascar was last weekend.
Dia nijery tamin'ny internet dia zavatra nilazainy zareo hoe tamin'ny herinandro a ny fetiny reny teto Madagasikara.
But in actual fact it's today, and so we want to say happy Mother's Day to all the mothers.
Fa androany kay ny fetiny reny a dia averiko ihany hoe tratran'ny fetiny reny a ianareo reny rehetra.
Mothers, we want to say we love you.
Dia hiteny aminareo reny zay hoe tena tianay nareo a.
We need you in our lives.
Mila nareo zay a eo amin'ny fiainanay a.
We so appreciate everything that you do.
Tena mankasitraka nareo zay ny amin'ny zavatra rehetra ataonareo.
And today we celebrate the unique role that you play in so many lives.
Dia androany zay a tena mankalaza an'ilay andraikitra tokana raisinareo amin'ny fiainanay.
You may not be a biological mom, but you may be involved in caring and mothering others around you.
Andraikitra miavaka azafady a, mety hoe tsy mananjanaka nateraka ao ianao fa nefa ianao mety miraharaha sy miandro zaza manodidina anao.
And we celebrate and we salute you moms today.
Ary tena mankalaza izay ary tena misalue anareo reny rehetra androany.
And our praise that you would have a wonderful day today.
Dia ny vavaka ataonay a dia tena hoe afinaritra ny tontolo andro aminareo a androany.
Now, those of you who have been journeying with us for the last few weeks know that we've just finished a journey through the book of Acts.
Dia ho anareo zay efa niaraka taminay nandritran'ny herinandro vitsivitsy lasa zay a dia niaraka nijery ny boky ny asan'ny apôstôly tsika.
And this morning we start a new series.
Dia androany maraintsika manomboka fampianarana mitoy a vaovao.
This time we're focusing on a character that we find in the Bible.
Dia androany maraintsika hifantoka amina karaktera anankiray a hitantsika eo amin'ny baiboly ao.
More specifically, the character of Joseph that we find in Genesis, the first book of the Bible.
Na hoe ny toetra ny Josefa zay hitantsika eo amin'ny boky ny Genesis a, hitantsika eo amin'ny boky voalohany ao amin'ny baiboly.
The story of Joseph is found in Genesis 37 to Genesis 50, and that's what we're going to be looking at over the next few
Ny
weeks.
tantaran'i Josefa dia hitantsika eo amin'ny Genesis toko fa 7:30 ka hatramin'ny fa 50 a dia zay no jerentsika mandritra ny herinandro vitsivitsy.
Now, every so often we dive into or we look at a character or book of the Bible, the Old Testament.
Dia matetika tsika rehefa mijery olona anankiray ao amin'ny baiboly ao amin'ny testamenta taloha.
And when we look at those, either a story or a character, we find that every story and character actually points to Jesus.
Dia hitantsika hoe ny tantara rehetra sy ny olona ao anatin'io baiboly io rehefa vakintsika dia manondro makany amin'ny Jesosy avokoa.
On my kid's Bible, on the front cover, it's written by Sally Lloyd-Jones.
Dia amin'ny baiboly ho an'ny ankizy ho an'ny zanako a nosoratan'ny Sally Lloyd-Jones.
And it's got a beautiful summary. It says, every story whispers his name.
Dia eo misy fehezanteny kely anankiray zay eo ambany eo hoe ny tantara rehetrato dia manambara ny anarany.
The Bible is not made up of two sections and one's more important than the other.
Ny baiboly tsy hoe kory natao misy fizarana anankiroa fotsiny a dia hoe ny anankiray zava-dehibe kokoa dia ny anankiray a tsy dia manandanja kokoa.
Instead, all 66 books of the Bible are one big story.
Fa raha ny tena izy dia ilay boky 19 ao amin'ny baiboly a dia tantara lehibe anankiray.
A story of a God of love who has entered into the human story to win people to himself.
Tantaran'ilay Andriamanitra fitiavana nanatonga nanatratra ny olombelona ho azy.
And so when we dive into the story of Joseph over the next few weeks,
dia raha hijery ny tantaran'i Joseph tsika mandritra ny herinandro vitsivitsy a,
we're going to stand in awe of this incredible person that God weaves into this bigger story.
dia ho talanjontsika ny amin'ity olona mahagaga, olona nafinaritra zay notefian'Andriamanitra ao amin'ny tantarany lehibe ity.
And I remind you, these aren't myths or legends. This is real history that happened 3,700 years ago.
Dia tiako ampatsahivana anareo fa tsy hoe angano akory izy ity fa tena zavatra nitranga 700 taona lasa zay.
And they've been captured for our growth in our faith.
dia notahirizina ho an'ny fitombontsika sy amin'ny fampitomboana ny finoantsika izany tantara izany.
And my hope is that as we journey through this together,
dia ny fanantenako ao anatin'ny fianarantsika ao anatin'ny izao fampianarana mitoy arahantsika izao
that we would be encouraged,
dia tena hoe azo hery isika
that the person of Joseph and the story would feed our faith,
dia hi personan Josefa sy ny tantarany tena hoe amahana ny finoantsika.
that we would be challenged, and that the Holy Spirit would bring correction where correction is needed.
Dia mba tena hoe azo fanamby isika ary ny fanahy masina ny hoe hitondra fantsiana any amin'izay tokony hahitsy.
Now, before we get into the story of Joseph,
dia alohany hijerevantsika ny tantarany Josefa,
it's important for us just to quickly look at the family tree of who this guy, where he sits on the family tree.
dia zava-dehibe amintsika mahafantatra hoe ahoana ny firazanany aiza ny toerana misy anazy eo amin'ny fianakaviany.
Joseph's great grandfather was Abraham.
Ny dadabeany Josefa dia i Abrahama.
Many of you may know about Abraham.
Ny sasany amintsika betsaka amintsika mahafantatra ny Abrahama.
He was the guy that God promised his descendants would outnumber the stars in the sky.
Izy le nomen'Andriamanitra teny fikasana hoe ny ataony maro ny taranany.
And through Abraham and his descendants, God had planned to bless the nations of the world.
Dia i Abrahama sy ny taranany dia nanana planina mba hoe ho fitahiana ho an'ny firenena rehetra.
It happens in Genesis 12.
Zay hitantsika ao amin'ny Genesisy toko 12 zay.
And then from Genesis 12 to Genesis 36,
dia avy amin'ny Genesisy toko 12 ka hatrany amin'ny 9:30
we follow the ups and downs of this family
dia hitantsika ny fiainan'ireo fianakaviandreo miaka midina
that God has chosen.
zay nofidian'Andriamanitra.
Abraham has Isaac.
I Abrahama sy Isaka.
So Abraham has Isaac.
I Abrahama dia aveo Isaka.
And Isaac has two sons, Esau and Jacob.
Dia Isaka nana zanaka roa, Esau sy Jakob.
And Jacob, some of us know that he wrestled with God and God renamed him and gave him the name Israel.
Dia Jakob araky ny fantatry ny akamaroantsika hoe nifampitolona tamin'Andriamanitra izy dia nomen'Andriamanitra zanaka izy
Israel.
Israel dia nomen'Andriamanitra anarana izy hoe Israely.
And Israel or Jacob has 12 sons.
Dia Israely na i Jakob nanana zanaka 12.
One of them being Joseph, who we're looking at together.
Dia ny ray amin'izy 12 lareo dia i Josefa dia izy no jerentsika androany.
And so we enter this message in Genesis 37.
Dia ao anatin'ny titorotenitsika ao amin'ny Genesis toko 7:30 no jerentsika.
I want to encourage you to read the chapter on your own, but because of the fact that this message is in English and it's translated into Malagasy,
dia tiampirisika anao hoe vacu tantara io satria le zavatra ataontsika hoe adika teny izy androany misy mpandika teny
and because of the uniqueness of what we're trying to do, I want to walk us through it together this morning.
dia noho le hoe zavatra miavaka mihitsy nataontsika androany dia tiako hojerena tsikelikely le izy,
Picking up on specific scriptures and also making comments as we go.
dia misy ampahana soratra masina alaiko dia veo ho azavaiko anareo le izy eny andalana eny.
Okay, so let's pick up the account of Joseph at the age of 17.
dia ndao hojerevantsika ny tantarany Josefa tamin'izy 17 taona.
We're going to start in verse 3 of chapter 37.
dia atombotsika eo amin'ny 17 ao amin'ny toko 7:30.
It reads this. Now, Israel loved Joseph more than any of his other sons, because he had been born to him in his old age. And he made an ornate robe for him. When his brothers saw that their father loved him more than any of them, they hated him and could not speak a kind word to him.
17 Ary tiany Israely mihoatra noho ny zanany rehetra Josefa satria zanaky ny fahanterana izy ka nanaovany akanjo lava. Ary no nitany rahalahy fa Josefa no tiany indray mihoatra noho izy mirahalahy avy dia nankahalahy azy izy ka tsy nahazakanao teny tsara taminy.
I want to tell this story with 4 little chapters.
Dia tiako zarainy ty tantara ty miaraka amina toko anankiefatra.
The title of our first chapter is The Dreamer.
Dia ny lohateny ny toko voalohana tsy ho antsika androany dia hoe lay mpanonofy.
Joseph the Dreamer. It's from verse 1 to 11.
Josefa lay mpanonofy manomboka eo amin'ny 9 ka hatrany amin'ny faraky 10.
I want to place ourselves in Joseph's shoes.
Dia tiako tsika mipetraka ny tenantsika ao anaty kirarony Josefa.
If you were him, what are the kind of things going through your mind?
Zany hoe raha ianao teo amin'ny toeran'i Josefa dia inona ny zavatra nandeha tao amin'ny lohanao tao.
Let's try to do that.
Dia ndao zay no ataontsika.
he says to himself, wow, look at this cool jacket that my dad's given me.
Wow, jerefo ty akanjo tsara no men'ny dadako anaty.
My dad loves me the most. It's so obvious. Look at this beautiful jacket that I've got.
Tena mazava loatra fa tena tiany dadako be jerefa nomeny akanjo mahafinaritra ako.
And I'm going to wear this jacket to show my brothers and show others that I am the favored one.
Andeha anaovako ty akanjo ty mba asehoko amin'ny olona hafa sy ny rahalahyko fa tena tiany raiko ako.
I know my brothers hate me.
Fantatro fa tsy tiany rahalahyko ah.
They're just jealous.
Mialina fotsiny zareo.
They wish they were me and had the favor of my father like I have.
Maniry zareo mba haka ny toerako ah, dia hoe mba tiany raiko tahaka ny fitiavany ary zareo.
And they also cross with me because I told my dad what they were doing last time they were tending their sheep.
Dia tezitra tamiko kory zareo satria niteneniko tamin'ny dadanay ny zavatra nataony zareo tamin'izy ny andro ny ondry.
And to be totally honest, I don't care what they think.
Dia raha tsorona amin'ny marina dia tsy rarahako mihitsy ny zavatra eritreretiny.
They just need to accept that I'm the favored one.
Mila manaiky fotsiny zareo fa zany no tiany ray indrindra.
It's probably what's going through his mind.
Mety zay ny zavatra nandeha tao an-tsainy tao.
Genesis 37 continues in verse 5.
Dia mbola mitohy ah Genesis 7:7.
Joseph had a dream, and when he told it to his brothers, they hated him all the more. He said to them, "Listen to this dream I had. We were binding sheaves of grain out in the field. Then suddenly my sheaf rose and stood upright, while your sheaves gathered around mine and bowed down to it." His brothers said to him, "Do you intend to reign over us? Will you actually rule us?" And they hated him all the more because of his dream and what he had said.
Andiny fadimy. Ary nanonofo Josefa ka nambarany tamin'ireo rahalahiny, dia vao mainka nankalany azy izany. Fa efa nilaza taminy hoe izy, mba hieno kely ange zao nofo zao. Indro na miamboara tany an-tsaha isika, ary indro niarina ny amboarako sady nijoro. Ary indreo nilahatra na manodidina kosa ny amboaranareo ka niankohaka teo anatrehan'ny amboarako.
Again,
Ary hoy ny rahalahiny taminy, moa anjaka aminay tokoa va ianao, na hanapaka anay tokoa va ianao. Ary zany nofony sy teniny zany a dia vao mainka nankalany azy.
let's again put ourselves in Joseph's shoes.
Dia ndao mbola haka ny toeran'i Josefa ihany tsika.
I had this amazing dream.
Nanana nofo tsara ako.
Man, it was so real. I'm certain it's from God.
Tena hoe ohatrany hoe nofo tena izy zany izy, ohatrany hoe nofo avy amin'Andriamanitra.
And in it, the one in power over my brothers and my parents was me.
Dia ny olona nanam-pahefana teo amin'ny fianakavianako ny rahalahiko sy ny rahako a dia za.
Would you believe they bowing down to me?
Mino ve nareo hoe niankohaka teo amiko ry zareo?
I knew it. I knew God's got something amazing for me in future.
Fantatro mihitsy fa manana planina tsara ho an'Andriamanitra amin'ny ho avy.
I can't wait to tell my parents and my brothers.
Dia tsy androko mihitsy ny tantarako an'izany amin'ny ray aman-dreniko sy ny rahalahyko.
I don't think they're going to like it, but it's not my fault that God's chosen me.
Mety tsy tiany zareo mihaino an'izay a fa tsy diso ako tsy adosoka akory ny hoe ny fidianan'Andriamanitra ako.
They just need to get over it.
Mila maresy an'izany zareo, mila mialika an'izany.
Now, naturally, their brothers hated him.
Dia mazava ho azy a nankahalain'ny rahalahiny izy.
All the more when he shares this dream with them.
Indrindrindra rehefa mbola vao maika ny tantaran'ilay nofonofo tamin'izy ireo.
And Joseph actually has a second dream
Dia nanana nofo fandroany Josefa avy eo.
where the sun, the moon, and 11 stars also bow down to him.
Hoe ny masoandro sy ny lanitra ary ny kintana 12 a niankohaka teo, ny kintana 12 niankohaka teo aminy.
And the sun and the moon represent his parents, and the 11 stars, his brothers, all bowing down to
Dia
him.
ny masoandro sy ny volana dia maneho an'ny ray aman-dreniny a, fa ny kintana 12 maneho an'ireo rahalahy.
And him telling the second dream is like him taking petrol and pouring it on a fire already.
Dia le izy mitantara an'ilay nofo mifandroa dia takany hoe naka petrôla dia narotsaka ao anaty afo.
Fueling their jealousy and their hatred towards him.
Vao maika nandrehatra ny fialonany sy ny fahatezeran'izy ireo, ny fankalan'izy ireo azy.
And we're told in the scripture that although Jacob loved Joseph, he had to rebuke him.
Dia hitantsika ao amin'ilay tantara ao amin'ny andinitsoratra masonao hoe na dia tena tiany Jakoba ary izy, dia tena hoe nobedesiny Jakob izy a noho ny amin'izany.
We get the feeling that Joseph is convinced that this is going to happen sometime soon.
Hitantsika mihitsy hoe ohatrany resy lahatra be Josefa hoe atsoatsy efa tsy ho ela intsony dia nitranga izay zavatra izay.
He can't keep this news to himself.
Tsy vita ny mitazona le nofinofiny na le vaovao hoan'ny tenany.
So that's chapter 1, Joseph the dreamer.
Dia izay ny toko voalohany i Josefa ilay mpaninofy.
Chapter 2, the betrayal.
Ny toko faharoa ilay namadiana.
It was an ordinary day,
Andro mahazatra izy ity
just like any other day.
taka ny andro rehetra ihany
And Jacob sends Joseph to go and see how his brothers are doing as they're shepherding the sheep.
dia nirano Jakob Josefa hijery andralany any ampiandrasana ondry.
He goes on, he goes to the initial place that his dad had told him his brothers were.
Dia niteneniny
He goes to find them at the place where his dad told him they were.
ay dia nandeha izy nakany amin'le toerana nolazainy dadany aiza ny ahitana azy ireo.
But he doesn't find them there.
Fa tsy hitany tany nefa ny ary eo ralany.
And a man that's there says, "Who are you looking for?"
Dia nisy olona ataony teny fa iza ny tadiavinao.
And he says, I'm looking for my brothers. Do you know where they are?
Dia ozy aho hoe mitady andralahako aho fa hitanao ve izy.
And this man says, I overheard them saying that they're going to a place called Dothan.
Dia ozy izy ty lehilahy ty hoe any ohatrany ndraiky ozy zareo nilaza hoe andeha any amina toerana antsoina hoe Dotana.
And in verse 17, it tells us this.
Teo amin'ny 17 izy milaza toy izao.
So Joseph went after his brothers and found them near Dothan. But they saw him in the distance. And before he reached them, they plotted to kill him. Here comes that dreamer, they said to each other. Come now, let's kill him and throw him into one of the cisterns and say that a ferocious animal devoured him. Then we'll see what comes of his dreams.
17 arora lehilahy efa nifindra niala teto izy fa efa reko izy niresaka hoe andeha isika akany Dotana. Dia lasa Josefa nanaraka andralany ka nahita azy tany Dotana ary nahatazana azy eny lavidavitra eny ralany ko raha mbola tsy nakaiky azy Josefa. Dia niray nitetika amono azy izy dia niresaka hoe izy indro tamin'ilay mpanonofy.
The jealousy and the hatred of his brothers overflows into violence.
Tena hoe niteraka herisetra ny fialonana sy ny fahankalan'ny ralany.
And there's no father to protect him in this place.
Dia eo amin'ny toerana io tsy eo akory ny dada miaro azy.
No witnesses to try and protect him.
Tsisy vavolombelona afaka miaro azy.
This is their chance to finally get even with this brother that they hate.
Dia eto zany ny fotoana ny fotoana tokana ahafahan'izy ireo manilika ny ralany izay ankahalainy io.
But it's more than just teaching him a lesson. This is a permanent solution.
Fa izy ity mihoatra nono hoe manafay fotsiny na hoe mibedy fa tena hoe vahaolana maharitra izy ity.
But we're told that not all of the brothers feel the same way.
Dia zavatra hitantsika nefa ny tsy hoe mitovy akory mitovy daholo ny fahatsapahan'ireo rahalanyireo.
One of his brothers, Reuben,
Fa misy rahalany anankiray Robena no anarany
he tries to intervene.
niezaka niaro izy.
He doesn't want the blood of Joseph on his hands.
Tsy te hanana ny rahany Josefa izy eo an-tanany.
Maybe he wants to rescue Joseph because he actually loves him. Maybe he wants to rescue him for his father's favor.
Ngambany izy te hoe hanavitra an Josefa amin'izay izy mba mahazo sitraka eo anatrehan'ny rainy.
We don't know.
Tsy fantatsika.
Verse 21 says this.
Dia amin'ny 19 dia mivaky toy izao.
When Reuben heard this, he tried to rescue him from their hands. Let's not take his life, he said. Don't shed any blood. Throw him into the cistern here in the wilderness, but don't lay a hand on him. Reuben said this to rescue him from them and take him back to his father.
Ary Robena nandray izany dia namonjy azy tamin'ny tanany ka nanao hoe aza dia mamono ny aina isika. Ary koa i Robena taminy hoka tsy handatsa dra ianareo. Tsy mpahazo ao anatin'io lavaka ety anefitra io izy fa aza misy manindry tanana aminy ianareo mba hamonjeny azy amin'ny tanany rahalany idondrany azy any amin'ny raindray.
Now remember, Joseph's in the distance approaching them.
Dia tadio tsara hoe mbola eny alavitra Josefa eny anatona azy ireo.
And they're scheming about what they should do as he's approaching.
Dia miketriketrika zareo inona ny tokony ataony zareo eo anatin'izy le manatona iny.
And you can imagine they see the colorful robe that he's wearing in the distance.
Dia afaka hitanao tsara le akanjo maro loko anaovany avy eny alavitra eny.
I mean, that's something that you would wear to a wedding, not something that you would wear when you're going to go check on your brothers in the field.
Niny akanjo io mety hoe akanjo tokony entinao any anatina fampiakaram-bady fa tsy hoe entinao mandeha mijery ny rahalanao any ampiandrasan'ondry any.
Just the sight of him would have made them cross.
Mety hoe le fahitan'izy ireo an Josefa avy eny alavitra fotsiny dia mba mety natezitra azy.
And so when he arrives, we're told in verse 23.
Dia rehefa tonga tao izy dia henontsika eo amin'ny 17:20.
So when Joseph came to his brothers, they stripped him of his robe, the ornate robe he was wearing. And they took him and threw him into the cistern. The cistern was empty. There was no water in it.
Ary rehefa tonga teo amin'ny ralàny Josefa dia nendany ny akanjony dia ilay akanjo lava teny aminy dia nobetany izy ka natsipiny tao an-davaka ary maina ny lavaka tamin'izay fa tsy nisy rano tao.
Okay, so he's in the cistern.
Dia ao anaty lavaka izy io amin'izao fotoana izao a.
They sit down and they eat.
Dia nipetraka izy ireo amin'ny sakafo a.
Maybe they can hear him screaming, "Help!" in the cistern.
Mety hoe henony zareo izy miantsoantso vonjy ao anatin'ilay lavaka.
Who knows?
Izy amin'ny mahafantatra.
But they see over the horizon a caravan of Ishmaelites coming.
Dia nahita kalesan'ny Ismaelita izy a nandalo.
And Judah, the oldest brother, begins to scheme.
Dia i Joda nanomboka nahita hevitra avy eo.
He realizes that they can prevent this murder and they can also make some money in the process.
Hozy izy sady tsy voatery mamono isika no mety afaka mahazo vola ihany koa.
And we told in verse 28.
Teo amin'ny 9:24 dia hitantsika indray.
So when the Midianite merchants came by, his brothers pulled Joseph out of the cistern and sold him for 20 shekels of silver to the Ishmaelites, who took him to Egypt.
Ary raha nandalo teo ny Midianita mpandrato dia nakaran-dralàny niala tao andavaka Josefa ka namidiny sekely volafotsy 20 tamin'ny Ismaelita ary dia nitondra an Josefa ho any Egypta ireo.
So chapter 1, the dreamer.
Toko voalohany a ilay mpanonofo.
Chapter 2, the betrayal.
Dia ny toko faharoa ilay namadiana azy.
Chapter 3,
Toko fahatelo
the cover-up.
ilay
The cover-up, like the story that they're going to tell their dad.
ilay tantara na hoe ilay fanafianana an'ilay tantara hitantarain'izy ireo an'irainy.
So the deed is done. They've sold their brother into slavery.
Efa vita ilay zavatra natao a namidiny tany amin'ny fanadevozana ny ralàny.
But the excitement and the adrenaline of what they've just done leaves, and they realize that they've got to tell their father something.
Dia rehefa avy eo niala ilay fiantanentanana sy ilay adrenalina niakatra be iny a dia tonga saina zareo mila miteny amin'ny dadany ka izy ireo.
And so they think of a cover-up or a story to tell their dad.
Dia nieritreritra namorona lainga izy ireo na hoe namorona tantara hoe inona no tenentsika amin'ny dada.
Verse 31 says,
Teo amin'ny 9:30 dia manambara.
Then they got Joseph's robe, slaughtered a goat, and dipped the robe in the blood. They took the ornate robe back to their father and said, "We found this. Examine it to see whether it is your son's robe." He recognized it and said, "It is my son's robe. Some ferocious animal has devoured him. Joseph has surely been torn to pieces."
Ary nalaindreo rarany ilay akanjo Josefa dia namono zanakosa izy ka natsongony tamin'ny rany akanjo. Dia nampanateriny ho any amin'iray ilay akanjo sady toy ny filazany azy. Ity no efa hitanay ko fantaro na akanjo zanakao ty na tsy. Dia fantany ka hoy izy akanjon'ny zanako io efa lany biby masika izy fo viravira tokoa Josefa.
The father's heart is broken.
Tena hoe naratra ny fon'le ray.
His beloved son, his favorite son, is dead and gone.
Ilay zanany tena tiany a sy tena nkasitrany a maty a tsy tantsony.
And the final verse of the chapter takes us back to what's happening in Joseph's life.
Dia ny farany amin'io atoky io a dia mitondra antsika any amin'ny zavatra nitranga teo amin'ny fiainan'i Josefa.
And this is the final chapter of this little story we're going through this
Dia
morning.
hito a ny tantara ny toko farany amin'ilay tantara no zaraiko teo.
After the cover-up
Rehefa vita le fanafianana an'ilay tantara
and everything that's happened,
dia noho ny zavatra nitranga rehetra
we get to the destination in verse 36.
teo amin'ny 9:30 tsika dia tonga any amin'ilay destination an'ilay tantara.
It says, "Meanwhile, the Midianites sold Joseph in Egypt to Potiphar, one of Pharaoh's officials, the captain of the guard."
Ary ny Midianita nivarotra an'i Josefa tany Egypta tamin'ny Potifara tandapany Fareo sady mpifeny mpiambina.
That's the story we're looking at this morning.
Dia zay ilay tantara jerentsika androany maraina.
Let me make a few comments. I'm sure you'll agree that much has changed in Joseph's life.
Dia azoko antoka hoe manaiky nareo hoe betsaka ny zavatra niova teo amin'ny fiainan'i Josefa.
He's gone from riches, wearing this ornate, beautiful robe, to wearing the rags of a slave.
Niala avy amina hoe arena be izy a nanana akanjo lava tena hoe akanjo maneho amin'ny fananana arena no lasa nitafy ny akanjon'ny andevo.
He's gone from a place of being favored and being the favorite of his dad to now being rejected as a slave.
Ny ala avy amin'le toerana izy hoe tena nahazo fitiavany ny rainy sy ny fankasitrahany rainy a dia zao izy lasa hoe nolavina sy nahilikilika lasa andevo izy.
You might know the rest of the story
Mety fantatrao tsara ny ambon'le tantara
and know what's coming next.
dia fantatrao inona ny zavatra nitranga avy eo.
But right now, if we pressed pause on this story,
Fa raha ohatra ka pozentsika ilay tantara
let's think about what is going through Joseph's mind right now.
dia ndao hieritreretsika inona ny zavatra tonga ao an-tsainy Josefy eto amin'ity fotoana ity.
What questions do you think are going through his mind as he's on his way in this caravan towards Egypt?
Inona ny fanontaniana mety mipetraka ao an-tsainy Josefa tamin'izy ao anatin'iny kalesy iny a andeha ho any Egypta.
Maybe he's saying, God, where are you?
Gamana izy ny teny hoe Andriamanitro aiza ianao?
How could you let this happen?
Fa maninona navelanao hitrangy zao?
What is actually happening here?
Inona ary ny zavatra mitrangy eto e?
You gave me these dreams, these callings of this amazing future,
Nomenao nofinofy ako any amin'ilay ho avy mamiratra tsara.
this position of authority that you've got for me.
Hoe nomenao fahefana lehibe zako tao anatin'ilay nofy.
And it seemed like these things would come true in a few weeks.
Dia ohatrany hoe efa hatsoatsy afaka herinandro vitsivitsy ny hitrangany zany.
But now you've abandoned me. I mean, there's no ways those dreams will come true.
Nefa zao za dia nafonao aty tsy ho tanteraka intsony zany nofinofy zany.
Maybe these dreams were not from you. Maybe he's doubting himself. He says, these dreams are not from you.
Ngama mety lasa nanahy Josefa hoe ngama tsy avy aminao le nofiko teo.
Maybe they're just my own thoughts of how big I could be.
Ngama mety eritreritry fotsiny izy hoe mety ho lasa ngeza be any ariana any.
Maybe this wasn't a calling, but rather wishful thinking.
Ngama mety tsy antso le izy fa mety faniriana fotsiny.
Maybe he's questioning God.
Ngamana izy mety mametra-panontaniana misalasalany amin'Andriamanitra.
God, is this some cruel joke of yours?
Andriamanitra blagy avy aminao ve zany?
Maybe he's questioning his faith. Maybe he's saying, maybe you are a myth.
Ngambana izy lasa misalasalany amin'ny finoana hoe ngambany angano ianao ry Andriamanitra.
A story that my father and my grandfather and my great-grandfather told us.
Tantara no tantarain'ny dadako sy ny dadabeako.
Do these questions sound familiar to you?
Mety fantatrao tsara ve zay fanontaniana apetrako izay?
You might not have been given a dream like Joseph was,
Mety hoe mbola tsy nanana nofo tahaka ny nomenan'i Josefy ianao.
but you've been in a situation where your current reality doesn't match with what you thought would be your future.
Fa mety efa teo amina situation ianao hoe ny zavatra iainanao a ohatrany tsy mifanaraka amin'le zavatra eritreretinao amin'ny ho avy.
How things are very different to what you thought they would turn out to be.
Zany hoe ny zavatra iainanao ohatrany hoe zavatra tsy araka ny eritreretinao mihitsy.
Joseph's dream had him on a throne with people bowing down to him.
Ny nofinofiny Josefa dia hoe izy a mipetraka teo amin'ny seza fiandrianana dia ny olona miankohaka eo aminy.
But his current reality is that he is a slave in chains.
Fa ny toerana misy azy amin'ny fotoana izao nefany a dia voafatotra izy a mifatotra rojo.
And the questions that this story stirs are questions that we ask in our lives today.
Dia ny fanontaniana mivoaka avy amin'izany tantara izany dia fanontaniana apetrakantsika amin'ny fiainantsika amin'izao fotoana izao.
What questions have you asked when you've been in those moments of disappointment?
Inona ny fanontaniana mety tonga ao an-tsainao rehefa mandalo an'izay fahadisom-panantenana izay ianao eo amin'ny fiainanao?
What have you cried out when life has felt cruel?
Inona ny tena hitomanizanao rehefa ohatrany hoe mangidy aminao ny fiainana?
Maybe someone else got the work that you were promised.
Ngamba mety ho lafa nazo an'le asa tokony nomenanao.
Maybe you were overlooked for a promotion at work that you were hoping for.
Ngamba ianao mety nodinganina fotsiny tamin'le nisy promotion tao am-piasana.
Maybe you started a business and just as it started to go well and things were looking good, your child got sick and all the money had to go to that child to treat them.
Ngamba ianao nanomboka nanangana orinasa anankiray dia rehefa nanomboka ny nahomby le orinasa dia narara ny zanakao dia lany tany amin'ny fitsaboana azy ny volanao.
Maybe right now, in this coronavirus, you've lost your job or you've lost your business.
Dia ngamba amin'izao fotoana izao anatin'ity coronavirus ity mety hoe very asa ianao a mety tsy nahomby intsony ny asa aman-drarahanao.
Maybe loved ones who have had babies or who are sick or who have died.
Ngamba mety hoe olona akaiky anao a mety hoe narary a na hoe maty a.
And because of this coronavirus, you're not able to be there with them and share these moments with them because we're not allowed to travel.
dia noho ity coronavirus ity a dia tsy afaka miaraka amin'izy ireo ianao satria tsy mahazo mandeha mivoyage.
And you aren't able to respond the way you would like to.
dia tsy tena hoe araka ny tokony ho izy araka izay tianao no anampianao azy.
Maybe you've got medical test results back and they're really not what you were hoping to hear.
Ngamy ianao mety nahazo ny valan'ny analyse médicale nataonao a dia mety tsy araka ny eritreretinao ny zavatra mitranga tao.
Maybe you've been studying and you're working as hard as you can, but you just can't seem to pass.
Ngamy ianao mety hoe efa nianatra mafy ianao a nefa ianao tsy mety mahomby mihitsy.
Maybe you've got a child that's been diagnosed with some kind of sickness that changes and has huge implications for you as a family.
Ngamy ianao mety mananjanaka, mety hoe manana aretina mitaiza, mety hoe miteraka zavatra be zany eo amin'ny fiainanao amin'ny mahafianakavinanareo.
Maybe you're older in age and you're saying, God, do you have anything for me? I mean, what do you have for me to do now?
Ngamy ianao mety efa lehibehibe ihany ny taonanao a dia mety manontany hoe Andriamanitra ino ary mbola azoko atao amin'izao.
These are hard questions of life and faith.
Dia ireo fanontaniana ireo dia fanontaniana sarotra izay apetrakantsika eo amin'ny fiainantsika sy ny finoantsika.
These situations, should I say, bring about hard questions about life and faith.
Zany toejava misy zany no tiako tenenina dia hoe miteraka fisalasalana sy mahatonga anao ametra-panontaniana ny amin'ny finoanao.
So far we've seen the story and we've tried to place ourselves in Joseph's place.
Dia zao hitantsika le tantarany teo a, le tantaran'i Josefa dia niezaka ihany koa tsika naka ny toeran'i Josefa.
Now I want you to take that same story and I want to look at it through God's eyes.
Dia zao ianao tiako handray an'izay tantara zay dia tiako ianao ahita an'izy araka amin'ny fijerin'Andriamanitra.
Let's look at this story in light of the bigger picture of God's story.
Dia ndao hojerentsika le tantara miaraka amin'ilay hoe inona le tantara le sary lehibe tian'Andriamanitra aseho.
Remember in Genesis 12,
Tadio tsara amin'ny Genesis 12.
God had covenanted with Abraham that he would bless the nations through Abraham and his descendants.
Nanome teny fikasana ho an'i Abrahama Andriamanitra hoe ho fitahina ho an'ny firenena rehetra sy ny taranany izy.
Now the family's not big, just a couple of generations.
Dia eto le fianakaviana mbola tsy tena hoe ngeda be fa mbola misy taranaka vitsivitsy.
And he's using this family as a demonstration of his power and his character.
Dia aseho an'ireto fianakaviany reto ho fanehoana ny heriny sy ny toetrany.
As Joseph enters the story, God gives him a gift.
Rehefa niditra tao amin'ilay tantara Josefa dia nomen'Andriamanitra fanomezana.
This gift of dreams and being able to interpret dreams. We're going to read more about that later.
Le fanomezana manonofy sy hoe mahay manazava nofy izy izay mbola ho hitantsika ao aoriana.
But we see that Joseph abuses that gift.
Dia hitantsika hoe nararotiny Josefa izay fanomezam-pahasoavana izay.
He inflated the view he had of himself. In English we say he got a big head.
Zany hoe amin'ny fomba fiteninay amin'ny teny anglisy dia hoe be loha loatra izy na lehibiaziny loatra le fahitany ny tenany.
He thinks he's more important than he really is.
Lasa nieritrereto izy manandanja kokoa noho ny eritreretiny izy.
Instead of using this God-given gift to benefit others,
raha tokony hoe nampiasa le fanomezam-pahasoavana avy amin'Andriamanitra izy ho tombony hafa ho an'ny hafa,
he uses it to inflate his view of himself.
dia nampiasainy izy mba anampitombona ny fijerin'ny tenany.
He puts himself at the center of the story,
Lasa izy no napetra no ivon'ilay tantara.
making himself Joseph the hero,
Lasa izy no nametraka ny tenany hoe i Josefa lay hero.
instead of seeing God as the giver of this gift
Nefa tokony hoe Andriamanitra no tokony ho hitany hoe mpanome an'ilay fanomezana.
and the one who will bring this dream into reality.
Sy hoe Andriamanitra irery ihany lay tokana afaka mitondra an'izay nofo izay ho tanteraka.
Joseph had this sense of what his destiny would be,
Dia na fatapantatra Josefa ohatrany ahoana ny hafarany tantarany.
but his picture of the future had him in the middle of it.
Fa ny fahitany an'ny ho avy dia nanana anazy ho ivon'ilay tantara.
And even his brothers mocking and teasing him didn't change that picture.
Dia na dia hoe ny sangisangy sy ny fanininy raha lahany taminy ara dia tsy nanova ny fomba fijeriny.
You see, he wasn't ready to be used by God.
Hitanao tsy tena mbola vonona loatra izy mba ho ampiasain'Andriamanitra.
The gift was in good shape,
Tena hoe tsara tarehy ilay fanomezana,
but he was not.
fa izy nefa tsy teo amin'ilay toerana nety tsara.
The gift was there,
Teo ilay fanomezana,
but the maturity to use it well was not.
fa ilay fahamatorana ahafahana mampiasa tsara ilay fanomezam-pahasoavana mbola tsy nananana.
We've read about this 17-year-old spoilt brat bragging about his father's favor to his brothers.
de hitantsika le izy teo hoe le zaza 17 taona
Bragging to his brothers about his father's favor towards him.
zany hoe nizesta niriaria tamin'ny rahalany izy noho ny amin'ny fankasitrahan'ny rainy azy
And the spiritual gift of these dreams that he's been given.
sy lay fanomezam-pahasoavany fanazy ay nomena azy
You see, he needed some refining, some training.
hitanao nila famola volana izy zany
He needed to experience something that would remove him from the center of his story.
nila niaina izy mba hahafantarana hoe mila miala ao amin'ilay hoe izy no ivon'ilay tantara
He needed to find his dependence on God, not his father
mila aseho aminy zany hoe mila miankina amin'andriamanitra izy
And
fa
not-
tsy hoe miankina amin'ny rainy
and not himself.
sy tsy miankina amin'ny tenany
And this training started suddenly.
de io zay fampiofanana anazy anazy zay de nipotra tampoka
It wasn't something that he invited, it just happened.
tsy hoe zavatra nandrasana na hoe nasaina izy fa tonga tampoka tamin'ny fotoana tsy nampozana
It was painful but purposeful.
tena naratra nandratra le izy a nanaintaina nefa misy tanjona atao ambadika le izy
Just like a sculptor takes rock or wood
de taka ny mpanao sary sikotra maka vato izy na hazo
and he chips away the parts that he doesn't want to be part of the
de
sculpture.
mila tefenana izy ao asorona izy zavatra tsy ilaina ao anatin'ilay famola volana
So God is the sculptor in the story, and he's chipping away the things of Joseph's life that he doesn't want
de
there.
tahaka an'izany ihany koa andriamanitra no sculpteur na hoe mpanao sary sikotra eto a de izy manaisotra an'izay zavatra tsy ilaina rehetra ao anatin'le ara ataony
Things that were in the way,
hoe ny zavatra manielingely ao a
things that were holding him back,
ny zavatra mety miazona azy tsy andeha
things that might have been a danger to himself or to others in the future.
zavatra zay mety ampidi-toza ho an'ny tenany so an'ny olona hafa amin'io avy
You see, while Joseph is sitting in that pit, looking up to the sky,
hitanao tamin'ny josefa atao anatin'le lavaka mitazana ny lanitra
and then later when he's on his way on that long journey to Egypt,
de rehefa aveo izy eny an-dalana ho any Egipta
chained as a slave,
fo fatotra ho andevo a
this is a moment of training. These are moments of significance.
de fotoana misy dikany be ho an'ny fiainana zany fotoana namola volana azy
Even in the depths of his confusion and his pain, God is still with him.
na dia ao anatin'ny firorontsaina sy ny fisalasalana tanteraka ary izy de andriamanitra mbola niaraka tamin'ny teny foana
And see, God's not finished with Joseph.
hitanao tsy tapitra tamin'ny tsy hoe vita kory ny tsy hoe vita kory ny anjaran'andriamanitra teo amin'ny fiainan'i josefa
In fact, he's just getting going. We're going to see that.
fa raha ny tena izy vao manomboka ary izy
The God of the Bible is not somebody who gives up on people.
ny andriamanitra ny baibolitsika de tsy hoe olona miabandona na mahafoy ny olony fotsiny
Just because he was selfish and spoiled didn't mean that God wrote him off.
tsy midika kory zany hoe satria tia tena sy feny firiariana izy de noroasan'andriamanitra
No, God's preparing Joseph for serving him by giving him these spiritual gifts.
fa nomanin'andriamanitra josefa mba hampiomanana azy amin'ilay fanomezam-pahasoavana
And he's preparing him through these trials and this pain for service for him in future.
de nomanin'andriamanitra izy ireo izy tamin'ny alalan'ireo hafamola volana sy ny fizahany-toetra mba hahafahana manomana azy tsara amin'io avy
You see, this redirection of Joseph's life
hitanao le ohatrany hoe familiana ny lalan'ny josefy io a
is the preparation of God in Joseph's life for something way bigger in future.
de fanomanan'andriamanitra ny josefa amina ho avy mamiratra kokoa amin'ny ho avy
And later on, as the story develops over the next couple of weeks, we're going to see that God is in control.
de hitantsika eo rehefa mijery toyitsika mijery an'io tantara io de hitantsika hoe andriamanitra kai ny fefoana tao
Of
anatin'izay
every detail that's happening.
ny apahany atsipiriany rehetra de andriamanitra no mifeny zavatra rehetra
But we even see that God is in control in this chapter 37.
de na eto amin'ity toko fito amby telopolo ty ary de hitantsika fa andriamanitra mbola mifeny zavatra rehetra
Verse 15,
andininy fatimy amby folo
we see Joseph arrives and he can't find his brothers.
hitantsika josefa tonga de tsy nahita ny ralahany
But he meets a stranger who tells them where they were.
fa nahita olona tsy fantatra izy teo a de nanambara taminy aizany misy azy ireo
And it just so happens that that stranger overheard his brothers, was close enough to the brothers to know where they're going.
de ny zavatra nitranga hoe reny olona fotsiny ny zavatra niteneniny rahalahy hoe aizany ny toerana misy azy ireo
Now, some people would call this coincidence,
de ny olona sasany miantso an'izao hoe coïncidence na hoe fifandrifinjavatra
but with the eyes of faith, we can see this is God at work.
fa raha mijery fijery ny finoana nefa tsika de hitantsika hoe asan'andriamanitra zany
Another example, when the brothers are scheming to kill Joseph,
ohatra anankiray hafa tamin'ny rahalahy nirezaka ny konikonina ny amono an Joseph,
Reuben stands up and protects him.
dia nitsanga ny Robena dia niaro azy.
Whatever his motives are, there's somebody to stand up for Joseph in that moment.
Ninona zany zavatra mety nanosika azy ireo dia nila olona anankiray miaro an Josefa tamin'ny fotoana io.
And instead of being killed, he's thrown into a dry cistern.
Dia raha tokony hoe novonoina izy dia natao tao anatin'ny lavaka maina.
And also, it just so happened that that caravan that was passing by is slave traders and not bandits.
Dia rehefa avy eo tao anatin'izay ihany koa dia nisy kalesa kalesa mpividy andeva tonga tao.
And it just so happened that they had silver enough to buy Joseph.
Dia tohatra ny nanana volafotsy ampy izy ireo ahafahan'izy ireo mividy an Josefa.
And it was orchestrated. They're on their way to Egypt.
Zany hoe zavatra efa voarindra tsara, voalamina tsara hoe eny an-dalana andeha ho any Egipta
The
izy ireo.
strongest, largest, and most influential nation of the time.
Lay tanàna, lay firenena matanjaka sy mahery indrindra tamin'izany fotoana izany.
In summary,
Raha fihezana,
there are no accidents at all.
tsy hoe asa tonga ho azy na hoe accident zavatra nitranga teo.
This is the sovereign hand of God orchestrating these range of events.
Fa le tanan'Andriamanitra tsy toa mandamina sy mandrindra ny zavatra rehetra teo.
God's moving, rearranging, aligning things as part of his great plan.
Andriamanitra mihetsika, manitsy, mamolavola anisan'ny planin'Andriamanitra.
Nothing was by accident.
Tsy hoe tonga ho azy na hoe tonga par accident fotsiny ny zavatra rehetra teo.
You see, there is God's big story that spans across time.
Hitanao misy an'ilay tantara lehibe an'Andriamanitra miparitaka manerana ny fotoana rehetra.
God creating us,
Andriamanitra nahary atsika,
the story of our fall into sin,
ilay tantaran'ny fahalavontsika tao anatin'ny fahotana,
the story of Jesus entering into humanity to bring redemption,
ny tantaran'i Jesosy tonga teo amin'ny fiainan'ny zanak'olombelona mba hitondra fanavotana,
and the story of a future renewal of all things one day.
dia ilay tantaran'ilay hoe famerenana amin'ny zavatra rehetra indray andro any.
And so we read the account of Joseph in that larger big story.
Dia novakitsika ilay tantaran'i Josefa apahan'izay tantara lehibe lavitra zay.
It's easy for us to do.
Tena mora amintsika manao an'izay.
We've got the whole Bible.
Manana ny Baiboly manontolo isika.
We can read a few pages ahead and know what happens.
Afaka mamaky pejy vitsivitsy tsika dia fantatritsika inona ny zavatra mitranga.
But Joseph didn't know at this time,
Fa Josefa tsy nafantatra ny zavatra hitranga.
but God did.
Fa Andriamanitra nefa nafantatra.
God is building this family of Abraham,
Andriamanitra manangana an'io ankohonan'ny Abraham io.
and he's taking them to Egypt to grow them,
Dia nentiny tany Egipta izy ireo mba hampitomboana azy,
to form them as a people, and to make them into a nation.
mba hamolavola azy olona sy hatonga azy ireo ho lasa firenena.
And this is how God relocates that family
Dia zay ny toerana nametran'Andriamanitra an'ireo olona ireo.
to Egypt,
Nentin'Andriamanitra tao Egipta izy
which was
ireo.
not the land promised to Abraham.
Tsy ho akory ilay tany nampanantenana ho an'i Abraham.
It started with Joseph, this young man, being sold into slavery and being taken to Egypt.
Fa nanomboka tamin'i Josefa ilay hoe namidy lasa andevo tany Egipta.
And as we see the events unravel over the next chapters and into the coming weeks,
Dia rehefa hitantsika io tantara io mandritra ny herinandro vitsivitsy izay ho avy,
we see that eventually at the end of the story, 600 men leave Egypt.
dia hitantsika ho amin'ny faran'ilay tantara hoe nisy lehilahy 900 niala tao Egipta.
And if we add women and children, we're looking at like 1.5 million or 2 million
Dia raha
people.
ampidiritsika ao ny vehivavy sy ny ankizy dia mety amanampitrisany ny olona niala tao.
That's the story of Exodus 400 years later.
Dia zay ilay tantaran'ny Exodosy efa-jato taona taty aoriana.
And this nation of Israel has been able to grow unhindered by political powers,
Dia io firenen'ny Israely io dia afaka nitombo tsy hoe nisy politika ny fe azy ireo akory.
where else would they have been able to grow like that without being threatened?
Hoe misy toerakafa ahafahan'izy ireo mitombo nefany tsy misy menasina fa zavatra mampatahotra azy ireo.
See, this is the reality. In Joseph's story, he would have felt like this was a full stop in his story.
Dia ao amin'ny tantaran'i Josefa mety natsapa izy angambany hoe eto ny taiboka famaranana ny tantarana.
Being sold into slavery was a full stop, the end of everything.
Le hoe namidy ho lasa andevo tapitra teo ny raha fijerina angambany hoe teo tapitra teo ny fiainana.
The end of his story.
Tapitra ny tantarany.
But in God,
Fa eo anatrehan'Andriamanitra nefany
all of us have commas.
manana virgule tsika rehetra
at the end of these difficult chapters.
eo amin'ny faran'ireo atoko sarotra eo amin'ny fiainatsika
In these chapters of pain or disappointment, we've got a comma.
ao amin'io tokony fangidina sy ny fahoriana io a misy virgule eo misy faingo
Our whole lives are followed by commas,
ny fiainatsika manontolo dia misy faingo a ao arinany
not full stops.
fa tsy hoe teboka famaranana
We can't always see how this great, loving, and compassionate God is working things.
tsy voatery ho hitantsika foana akory ilay hoe fitiavan'andriamanitra sy ny fiantran'andriamanitra sy ny hoe ahoana ny fomba fiasan'andriamanitra
But we can be assured and we can rest in His sovereignty that He is at work.
fa afaka manana antoka isika sy mitsahatra ao amin'ny mahatsitohan'andriamanitra hoe miasa izy ao anatin'izany rehetrarehetra izany
And as much as it often feels like we are at the center of our stories, the reality is that we're not.
dia matetika tsika matsapa hoe ohatrantsika no ivon'ny tantaram-piainatsika fa tsy isika nefa le izy
Joseph had put himself in the middle of his story,
josefa nametraka ny tena tao anatin'ny ivon'ny tantarany
above his parents and his brothers,
mihoatra noho ny ray aman-dreniny sy ny ralany
almost like Joseph was using God to help him reach his own dreams and desires.
tahaka ny hoe nampiasainy josefa andriamanitra mba hanampy azy hanatratra ny faniriany sy hanatanteraka ny faniriany
But God's got much grander plans for Joseph's life and his family's life.
fa andriamanitra nefa nana planina lehibe lavitra ho an'ny josefa sy ny ankohonany
Plans that would stretch thousands of years into the future,
planina izay mitatra hatrany amina taona amanarivo maro
with a descendant of that family being born in a manger.
hoe ka hatramin'ny hoe nitaranaka io fianakavian'io teraka tao an-tranon'omby
Jesus.
i jesosy
Plans that included the salvation of the whole world.
planina izay nisan'ny mampiditra ny famonjena n'izao tontolo izao manontolo
Plans far greater than solving a couple of family issues.
planina lehibe lavitra noho ny hoe mamaholan'ny fianakaviana vitsivitsy fotsiny
As we come to the end of this message this morning,
amaranantsika ny toroteny androany maraina
the question is, what is God's plan for us?
ny fanontaniana mipetraka dia hoe inona ary ny planin'andriamanitra ho atsika
God has a big plan that spans from the moment that He spoke creation into being,
mana planina lehibe andriamanitra ho an'ny firene ho an'ny zavaboarina tamin'ny fotoana izy ny tenin'ny zavamisy mba isy
right on into the future where all things will be restored and renewed one day.
mandraba tonga any amin'ny ho avy ale hoe ndray andro any dia ho avaozina avokoa ny zavatra rehetra
But He has a plan for us.
fa manana planina ho atsika nefa izy
We're not mere objects in this story.
tsy hoe objet fotsiny tsika ato anatin'ilay tantara
We are beloved.
fa olona tiana isika
His eyes are upon us.
mijery atsika ny masony a
There is nothing that can separate us from His love.
tsy misy nininona afaka mampisaraka atsika amin'ny fitiavana
We are held by Him.
tena hoe tahirizina isika tazomina isika
He cares for us. He sustains us.
miahantsika sy manohana antsika izy
What is God's plan?
inona ny planin'andriamanitra
Firstly, His plan is to draw us to Him.
voalohany indrindra noho ny planin'andriamanitra dia nisintona antsika hanakaiky azy
He orchestrates things so that we hear the gospel message, what God has done through His Son Jesus Christ for us.
avelany hitranga ny zavatra rehetra mba tonga antsika andreny ny afatry ny filazantsara hoe inona ny zavatra nataony tamin'ny alalan'i kristy ho atsika
And then He shapes us. He shapes us into the image of His Son Jesus.
dia izy no manefy atsika araky ny endriky ny zanany a dia jesosy kristy
As He was doing with Joseph, He does the same with us. He takes away what He doesn't want there.
tahaka ny nataony tamin'i josefa asorony izay zavatra tsy ilainy ao tsy namboleny
He doesn't pick finished products, perfect people to use. No.
izy tsy hoe mifidy hoe an'le produit efa vita na hoe produit fini hoe olona efa tanteraka no alainy tsy izany
Rather, He shapes us and He molds us and makes us.
fa izy no mamola vola manefy sy manamboatra atsika
And how He does that is maybe through sermons,
Then-
relationships,
dia ny fomba naovany an'izany a mety amin'ny alalan'ny toroteny a na ny finamanana
scripture,
ny soratra masina
prayer time,
ny fotombavaka nananao a
the work of the Holy Spirit in our lives,
ny asan'ny fanay masina eo amin'ny fiainanao
bringing conviction and correction.
mitondra fandraisen-dahatra sy fanitsiana
And also, He often uses hard times,
dia matetika ihany koa izy a mampiasa ny fotoan-tsarotra
painful times, difficult times,
fotoana tena hoe sarotra sy mangidy
things like coronavirus.
tahaka ny coronavirus
All of that goes into shaping us and molding us.
zany rehetrarehetra zany a dia tonga eo amin'ny fiainantsika mba hamola vola sy hanefy atsika
God has us on a journey
entin'andriamanitra isika
And every step is important in the formation of our character and faith.
dia ny dingana rehetra dia samy zava-dehibe avokoa ao anatin'ny famolavolanany finoantsika.
And so once we know him and once he shaped and formed us,
dia rehefa fantatsika tsara izy ary hoe voavolavola araka nanaovany antsika isika,
then he brings us into joy in his bigger plan.
dia entina isika avy eo a hiditra amin'ilay planiny lehibe.
He equips us with spiritual gifts,
Omeny fanomezam-pahasoavany panahy isika
and he puts us to work.
dia omeny asa isika avy eo.
He takes us out of being the center of our lives, and God becomes the center of our lives.
Asoriny isika avy amin'ilay hoe tsika nametraka ny tenantsika eo anivon'ny tantara dia Andriamanitra no maka ny toerana ny fitoerany eo amin'ny fiainantsika.
It's no longer about us, but it's about God and his plan.
Lasa tsy miankina amintsika intsony fa hoe momba an'Andriamanitra sy ny planin'Andriamanitra.
God is interested in his church,
Andriamanitra dia liana amin'ny fiangonany,
his kingdom, and the wider witness to the world.
ny fanjakany sy ilay vavolombelona lehibe eo amin'izao tontolo izao.
And while you are a part of the story,
Dia raha ohatra ianao anatin'ilay tantara
and I'm part of the story,
dia za koa anatin'ilay tantara,
we are not the center of the story.
tsy isika no ivon'ilay tantara akory,
He is.
izy no ivony.
In closing,
Amaranako azy
I hope that I'm trying to make this message practical to us.
dia miezaka ihany koa hoe ahoana ny iainantsika an'izany havatra izany.
And I want to just mention two things that can help us in our faith in these kinds of situations.
Dia misy zavatra anankiroa afaka hanampy antsika ao anatin'ny finoantsika rehefa mandalo an'izany zava-misy tahaka an'izany isika.
When we may feel like things aren't working out and wonder where God is.
Rehefa mahatsapy ianao hoe ohatrany tsy mandeha amin'izay loana ny zavatra rehetra sy hoe sao dia mba tsy eo ary Andriamanitra, lasay izy ary Andriamanitra.
Firstly,
Voalohany,
know that God is for you, not against you.
dia fantaro tsara fa Andriamanitra dia momba anao fa tsy manohitra anao.
Romans 8:31.
Romanina 8:7.
If God is for us, who can be against us?
Raha Andriamanitra no momba antsika, iza no atohitra antsika.
Too often we look at these hard times and we think they're punishment or correction from God.
Matetika tsika rehefa mandalo atsarotra dia mieritreritsika fibedesan'Andriamanitra antsika na fitsaran'Andriamanitra antsika ilay izy.
Joseph had no idea of the grand plan and the grand picture of what God was doing.
Tsy fantary Josefa mihitsy hoe inona ny zavatra lehibe ataon'Andriamanitra teo amin'ny fiainana.
We likewise have no idea what God may be doing.
Dia tsika koa tahaka izany tsy voatery fantatsika hoe inona raha ny tena ataon'Andriamanitra marina.
Maybe many years or generations from now.
Gama mety hoe ataona maro ao aorianao na taranaka maro ao aorianao.
God is for us, not against us.
Andriamanitra dia momba antsika fa tsy manohitra antsika.
And at times we need to coach our hearts. We need to remind our hearts of this truth.
Dia matetika mila mampatsiahany fontsika, mila mitaizany fontsika an'izany famarinana izany.
When we don't understand how things are going to play out.
Indrindra rehefa tsy fantatsika hoe ahoana ary ny hafarany ity zavatra mitrango ity.
And secondly,
Faharoa,
have patience strengthened by faith.
manana faharetana izay mafisin'ny finoana.
When we go through these hard times, we need to remember that God has a big plan.
Rehefa mandalo ady sarotra tsika dia mila mampatsiahy ny tenantsika fa Andriamanitra dia manana hevitra lehibe ho antsika.
And that we are part of it.
Ary isika dia ao anatin'izany planiny izany.
Nothing happens without a reason.
Tsy avenan'Andriamanitra mitrangatranga ho azy ny zavatra.
And I say patience. When I say patience, I'm not saying just waiting.
Rehefa miteny hoe faharetana dia tsy miteny akory hoe mila miandro fotsiny.
What I mean is anticipating.
Fa ny tiako teneny hoe mila miantisipe ihany koa.
Eagerly looking forward to seeing how God is going to resolve something.
Mila mangetahety ianao mitazana hoe ahoana ary inona ary ny zavatra ho ataon'Andriamanitra.
Even when it's hard and painful.
Na dia hoe mafy ary ilay izy.
You may not see the fruit of your suffering.
Mety tsy hitanao ngamba ny vokatra ilay fahoriana iainanao.
We may not understand what the end goal is.
Mety tsy azonao tsara hoe inona ny hiafarany, inona ny tanjona farany.
But we can, with courage, have patience.
Fa afaka ianao miaraka amin'ny faherezana miandry amin'ny faharetana.
Eagerly anticipating His mighty hand at work in all things.
Nefa sady vonina ianao miandrandra n'ilay tanan'Andriamanitra miasa mahery.
And as I close,
Amaranako azy.
I want to point us to Jesus.
Dia tiako entina makeo amin'i Jesosy tsika.
Throughout the series, we are going to see that Joseph is a type of Christ.
mandritra nyity tantary ty mandritra nyity fampianarana amitotsika ty sika dia mahita fa i Josefa dia karazany Kristy,
A faint outline of the type of person that Jesus was on earth.
ampahany keliny amin'ilay hoe ohatroatra ny ahoana ary moa Jesosy ety an-tany.
Long before Jesus took on flesh, we can see his story on every page of Scripture.
Dia alohany nahatongavan Jesosy ho nofo dia hitantsika daholo ny tantara isaky ny pejy ao amin'ny soratra masina.
Joseph was the favored son of Jacob.
I Josefa ilay zanaka sitraky Jakoba indrindra.
Jesus is the beloved one and only Son of God.
Dia Jesosy ihany koa ilay zanak'Andriamanitra latokana izay tena tiany.
Joseph received this coat that was a sign of his father's affection.
Dia nahazo lamba tsara, akanjo lava tsara tarehy avy amin'ny rainy Josefa mba ho fanehoana fa tiany rainy izy.
Jesus receives the Holy Spirit when he's baptized.
Dia Jesosy ihany koa nandray ny fanahy masina tamin'izy natao batisa.
And God speaks words of affirmation over him.
Dia rehefa avy eo Jesosy Andriamanitra ny teny iafirmiana azy teo amin'ny fotoana io.
Both Joseph and Jesus were betrayed by those who were close to him.
Dia Josefa sy Jesosy samy nisy namadika izy novadian'ny olona akaiky azy izy.
Both were sold for silver.
Namidy volafotsy izy roa.
In both cases, the betrayers didn't know the big plan that God was carrying out.
Dia tamin'izay fotoana izay namadiana azy zay le mpamadika tsy nafantatra inona plan'Andriamanitra ao ambadika izany.
Both were lowered into the earth.
Samy
Put into the earth, should I say. One in a cistern, one in a tomb.
Samy nalatsaka tao anaty lavaka izy ireo, ny anankiray tao anaty lavaka, ny anankiray tao anaty fasana.
Both were raised up out of the earth.
Dia samy natsangana avy ao anaty lavaka izy ireo.
We're going to see Joseph is lifted up into slavery.
Dia hitantsika hoe i Josefa navotana niala avy amin'ny fanandevozana.
And Jesus was lifted up to free people from spiritual slavery.
Dia Jesosy avy eo nasandratra mba hanafaka ny olona amin'ny fanandevozana.
What's important in this story that we've looked at this morning
Ny zava-dehibe amin'ny tantara no jerentsika androany maraina ito.
is that God is in control.
Andriamanitra mifehy ny zavatra rehetra.
He is sovereign.
Andriamanitra tsy toy izy.
And when we might not see it, he's probably preparing us for something.
Dia mety tsy hita masontsika fa mety manomana antsika amina zavatra hafa izy.
And we may not be able to see it.
Mety tsy voatery hitany masontsika le izy.
But thankfully, God can.
Fa soa ihany fa Andriamanitra afaka.
As we face these uncertain times,
Ao anatin'ny fiatrehantsika an'izao andro mahory, andro feno fisalasalana zao.
as life is filled with question marks,
Rehefa hoe feno point d'interrogation ny fiainantsika.
as we face this unrest in different parts of the world,
Ao anatin'izao fiainantsika ny tsy filaminana zao manerana an'izao tontolo zao.
let us remember, let us coach our hearts
Ndao atsiaro isika, ndao tezaitsika ny fotsika.
that God is sovereign.
Fa Andriamanitra dia tsy refesy mandidy.
He's still on his throne.
Mbola eo amin'ny seza fiandrianana izy.
He is in control.
Mifeny zavatra rehetra izy.
He has the bigger picture.
Izy manana an'le sary lehibe.
And although we don't see it,
Na dia tsy hita amin'ny masontsika ary le izy.
he can.
Dia afaka ataon'Andriamanitra izany.
Let's pray.
Dao hivavakantsika.
God, we want to thank you for that fact that you have the bigger picture.
Andriamanitra te hisaotra anao zay ny amin'izany hoe ianao no manana an'ilay sary lehibe.
God, we're grateful that we, as your sons and daughters, are a part of that bigger picture, that bigger story.
Tena faly izay Andriamanitra hoe izahay mahazanakao lahy sy zanakao vavy anay dia anisany ao anatin'izany tantara izany izahay.
And God, I pray that you, Holy Spirit, would help us coach our hearts towards you.
Mivavaka Andriamanitra mba ny fanahinao masina mihitsy no ampatsiahy sy hitaizany fonay.
Remind us that you are for us, not against us.
Ampatsiahanay fa ianao dia momba anay fa tsy manohitra anay.
That you are sovereign, you are in control.
Ary ianao dia tsy toa mifeny zavatra rehetra.
And those of us that are facing these challenges right now,
Ary izay miarika an'ireo fanamby ireo eo amin'ny fiainanay amin'izao fotoana izao Andriamanitra.
I pray for those people that you, God, would grant them patience.
Mivavaka Andriamanitra mba ianao mihitsy no hanome azy ireo faharetana.
Patience strengthened by faith.
Izany hoe faharetana tahirizan'ny finoana.
I ask this in Jesus' name.
Dia amin'ny anaran'i Jesosy no angatahako an'izany.
Amen.
Amen.
Join us next week as we continue this series on the character or on the person of Joseph.
Dia manasa anareo ihany andao anaraka anay ao anatin'ny fijerevantsika indray amin'ny herinandro ny tantaran'i Josefa ihany.
Enjoy the rest of your Sunday and happy Mother's Day, moms.
Dia mirary tontolo andro mahafinaritra dia manova fety sambatra ianareo ireny.